But speaking of words that get you in trouble, NBA, you saw this.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Myers Leonard said something anti-Semitic while playing Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I on the one hand, you do what you want to, and I'm Jewish, so
well, what do you think? This is my first question. Is it anti-Semitic or anti anything to use a slur in an expletive?
I really think you got to go to the person. Is
Yeah.
it true? I mean, it's tough. It's impossible to do for everyone, but this is why we have court cases. You don't just find someone killed someone. You go, I know what the penalty is for this.
Yeah.
It's like, well, wait, did the person attack that person with
Yeah.
a weapon? Is this person
was it premeditated?
Yeah. So it's like this. I get that. Oh, we can't do this for everyone, but we kind of do this for
Mhm.
everyone with our justice system. So yeah, he's playing Call of Duty. I don't play Call of Duty, but there's a culture of just saying horrible shit to each other while you play. And he says a slur against Jews. Does this make Myers Leonard anti-Semitic? I don't know. If I got into his house and I saw a Mein Kampf and you know what I mean, and a swastika hanging on his wall, I'd be like, yeah, then with all the evidence gathered, we can say this guy's anti-Semitic. But I don't know if his wife is Jewish and he's raising his kids Jewish and he goes to synagogue every weekend, but he just said this out of anger because his video game character died, then he's not anti-Semitic. And I'm sure the truth is in the middle. Actually, but I guess my point is just...
Do you think so? So I come down to... I say horrible words when I play video games. Words that will get me canceled when PlayStation releases the chat
I would
box.
imagine he doesn't have a Jewish wife and a Jewish kid to go to synagogue every weekend.
What I come to is that expletives... Like, if you had taught me when I was little that the worst thing that I could say was Rumpelstiltskin, I'd be Rumpelstiltskinning all over. And similarly, if you teach me that darn is the word that I use instead of, like I'll say darn instead of damn as an expletive, because it's just like the thing that comes out of you. Now you can train this. I've thought of this. Like I can train myself for fear of cancel culture, but I know what I fucking mean when I say these things, and it has nothing to do with any person or any feeling about anything. He's like, these are the words that were baked into me at a young age that you say when you stub your toe or you...
Well, yeah. And I also think it depends. Is this sentence part of a 5-sentence paragraph that's all anti-Semitic against someone he knows is Jewish? You know what I mean? Is Myers Leonard just in the street shouting at someone who's wearing a yarmulke? Well, that's one thing. Or is he just yelling at some guy who's not Jewish because he's playing Call of Duty? I think even to just say that the words are the same without context seems crazy to me. So
the other thing that's interesting, I just realized, so he's going to have to go to diversity training of some sort. What's interesting is that it's not a conversation. Like if you were to try to change someone's mind about white supremacy, you wouldn't do it by catching them, yelling at them, taking them to training and speaking at them. You would do it by eliciting their beliefs, and having a dialogue. And
yeah, this is how a black reporter befriended the leader of the KKK, and
then got him to hang up his Klansman robes and leave.
Yeah,
he was like a grand dragon. They call them dragons or something. I don't know. But it's just interesting.
Why do you know they're called dragons?
Why do you know?
I didn't know that.
What's his name? Daryl Davis. I watched his TED talk.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Very
interesting.
So it's just that there's no dialogue. It's like if there's no, oh, do you think this? Oh, tell me why. And then he's like, oh, well, when I was little, there was this kid and he did X, Y, and Z. And his family was like that would be good to know, to know if it is the case that you harbor negative beliefs about a group of people, why?
Yeah.
Rather than just have me tell you that this is wrong and you can't say these words. Because here's the thing, that you'll never catch that guy saying the word again. Not on, like he's going to get smart to the punishment.
Well, I've thought about this too. In terms of what counts as racist or anti-Semitic. Like if someone says the Jews control the media,
mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true, but if 100% of media companies are owned by Jews,
it seems like a fair thing to
but
say.
here's the other thing, I guess, like what is the Jews? Like it's not like I don't get to control the media, so maybe that's not accurate. But if you say the media is all controlled by Jews, well, if that's true that all of the media companies are owned by Jews, then that is true. But I guess the Jews don't control the media because I don't get a vote just because I'm Jewish. It's not like I get to tell you.
Yeah.
So I guess it just there's a line between like accurate versus generalization, and then there's a line between statement versus offensive statement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just because you say Jew doesn't mean that what you're about to say is accurate or inaccurate or anti-Semitic or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different because he didn't say Jew, he said kike,
mm-hmm.
which is a no-no. But yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about this in general. I was like, okay, how do I feel about this? He said this. I wasn't even thinking about talking about it on the podcast. I was like, how do I feel about this? We've been talking about racism, and it's not often that a public anti-Semitic thing occurs. Like, am I upset by this? Would I be upset if I were on the other side of this conversation? Like, how does this? And I just think it's so case by case is what I came down to. Like, it really depends on what was being said before. Dude, who knows if the guy in his ear was saying shit before that? You know what I mean? About his mom or something. It's just without context. I came to the conclusion I have no possible idea.
It's funny that, like, I mean, we've talked about this, how the words that you can't say have more. When I was little, it was F-U-C-K. That was the one that was the most thing. And if you're on Twitch, you can just firebomb that word.
Yeah.
You can just lay it over the landscape and seething things. You can, I guess you could talk about an NPC. I don't know that you're allowed to say it to another person, but with total vitriol, with words that are, obviously swear words and have been for a long time, but as long as they don't touch, and before he was Coffeezilla, what was his name? Coffee Break did a video on how the words you can't say have shifted, how it's moved from words relating to like the private parts of your body, asshole, dick, fucking is about, having sex and those sorts of things, how it's moved from that to slurs, which are groups, demeaning a group of people. And that if you go back through at least American media history, you can watch this sort of movement from one group of words that are the worst to obviously the next to the next. I guess it just calls out what we've mentioned 100 times, which is the completely relative nature of what is acceptable and unacceptable, and how trying to enforce it in a country of 330 million people that all come from different places that mean different things when they say them, as if each word is a mathematical equation, like say this is what it means, is just, it's ridiculous and actually doesn't solve the problem that it purports to, which is there's people that hate people for inappropriate and no reason at all, and we need to deal with that.
Yeah, but the word doesn't tell you if anyone hates it.
It doesn't tell you anything.
I can think of there was a rapper who brought someone up from his audience to sing on stage with him. And so she sang the words to the song that he wrote, and one of them was the N-word, and she was white, and he grabbed the mic and freaked out and threw her off stage. It's like, well, that clearly wasn't out of hate. That was out of love for you and your music, and she was just singing the music. You know what I mean? That's so different. If that same fan had gotten on stage, grabbed the mic and said, "You're a," and then said the N-word, like, that's just such a different context. So
it seems obvious to say it. I mean, it's so weird to talk to you about this because you and I are like, yeah, duh. And then in a world that doesn't.
This
seem
was
to
an
agree
interesting
with
one though, because it's easier for me to say yeah, duh when it's not me, right? But so this was a Jewish slur, so I got to actually reflect on it. I was like, well, how do I feel about this? I feel like having any idea of who he is as a person would be crazy of me. So I don't know. And if he's constantly saying it, you know what I mean? If it's go-to insult, well, then every it's also day.
And then there's and they did suspend him and fined him basically for the game. He's going to miss $200,000-$300,000 or something. But there's a level of.
He got suspended?
Yeah, for a week or something. From the Heat training facilities, and he got dropped from his Twitch part. I mean, dude, he got
dropped from Twitch. Makes more sense.
Well, Twitch lets people go for all kinds of things. So I'm not that's par for the course. But hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.